Hiking on with Mike. We are headed north from Low Gap Shelter. The next major gap for road access, I don't need it, but is Unicoi Gap. And we're on a gentle trail now. As you can see, not always easy to tell, but it's relatively flat. Had a good rest at the Low Gap Shelter. There were 3 other hikers there, one southbound. He was in my generation. There was 2 young guys, polite gentlemen. They were northbound. They were early risers. They got up at 5 a.m. I was pretty much awake, and they were packing out by that time and on the trail. But mostly I try to wait till daybreak. That's when I found the shelter sleepers tend to start making noise and turn on headlamps. Daybreak, start their morning routine. I did not eat anything this morning. I actually prepared a peak marinara pasta, added 3 ounces of olive oil, virgin olive oil for extra calories. And I'm cold soaking, so I loaded that up for brunch. I've been working more about getting calories on the trail. It does help, of course, hydration, keep a regular flow of water. Here's one of my favorite effects on the trail. I'm coming up and the trail is turning. We're actually following the mountain because now the sun is on my left in the east, so we must be going south for just a moment. So, been on an incline now. We are getting an incline. And make a turn in the shade of the mountain. I am in about my first 1.5 miles looking at a 13-mile day because 2 13s will finish the 58 miles. I'm filming now looking for water. This looks like my last good water supply, a stream that we are supposed to see according to Far Out map about 0.1 mile away. Might be right up here to the left. I saw some water back behind us, and it was a trickle. If this is the stream, we're talking trickle. The last one was better for one reason. If the water does not fall, it's very hard to catch. It is pooling right there. It's falling right there. That's the one chance. Get a leaf on that. All right, well, I'm gonna have to work it. I'm gonna have my brunch now, get my calories up. Well, I just had my break, ate my 1,500 calories. I'm in the green tunnel with the sunlight peeking through. So it's just steady progress. My summation or summarizing, steady progress. Let's get our hike on. Headed to Unicoi Gap, just as a benchmark or a waypoint. Nothing there for us, for me, but the trail carries us through. course, our dependence is on the Lord, who's not only with us, but in us through faith in Jesus. Life is good when your heart and your head and your feet are in the right place. All right, I'm coming down to Unicoi Gap. All the gaps like the NOC coming down, there's going to be a descent. In this case, it's a serious rock descent. Yeah, I'm sweating it out. I was getting down this last mile in 15 minutes, really last mile and a quarter. Everything was smooth. I was rock hopping, but I can't blame my hiking pole, but I broke it. I jammed it in between rocks and I went down, but no injury, thank the Lord. All right, so I'll show you the rest of the rocks, but right in here in this section here, here's my hiking pole. I mean, it got jammed in. You take these rocks right in between there, it got in between a rock and boom, it broke and I went down. It was like right in here. See there, your stick goes down. My stick came up, but one of these crevices, see here's another one right here. And as I rock hop, I'm dancing on the rocks. I'm gonna name it the Appalachian Dance, or better, AT Dance. Well, I hope you enjoy the excitement. It doesn't get any better than this. If you don't want excitement, don't come to the AT and don't challenge yourself on the AT. Sometimes you try to take from the trail and it doesn't give it up. Mike has his hike on when he's on his feet. I'm here at Unicoi Gap. I'm going to show you my new hiking pole after I fixed it with the rubber tip. I took the rubber tip off of the broken stub and put it on the long piece. And I actually have my length, so I have something to use for now for this trip. But here at Unicoi, of course, there's an information board. Much of the area we've been on up till now, Chattahoochee National Forest. We got someone else back on the trail or in here somewhere. Traffic passing by, Unicoi Gap. Other side of that white car, there's a hiker sign down there. But we also can see my, yeah, now I see it. That elevation, 2,949 feet. Yeah, we're on the AT. We're gonna go up, start a uphill climb, which it happens. All right, you'll see the difference. The one that's broke, I got the rubber tip on the broke one, took it off the stubby. Of course, the other one has kind of like a little pad or little wings, keep it from sinking down in. So here we are, yeah, straps, handles, and up we go. The broken one was extended, rubber tip applied. There's the AT Blaze, white Blaze, my hiking poles, and we're headed up these steps, 1.4 miles to Rocky Mountain. We'll peak there, and as stated, 3.7 miles to our overnight. And right now it's 2:15 p.m. So we'll be there with enough time to settle in for the evening. All right, let's get our hike on. I'll catch you on up the trail. I've turned to the trail now, hiking north. heading to the cheese factory campsite. White Blaze, which the notes on Far Out say at one time there was some dairy farm up here where this is. I noticed some other campsites past the cheese factory site, so I may consider another mile or two based on available tenting, because that's a tent site. What I am recognizing is it's nice to shorten the distance to my terminus point, Dick Creek's Gap. And if I take 2 miles off this evening, that'll be 2 less tomorrow, because it's 13 miles and change tomorrow. I mean, there's plenty of incentive to finish your section hike, but still, if I could go ahead and take a little pain this evening, hike in the evening when it's cooler anyway, and get a little bit closer. Oop, missed a step there. There's some rocks on the trail. Some rocks on the trail. Camera was dancing, I know. I was too, doing the AT dance. That's my label for rock jumping. When I broke my pole earlier, danced those rocks, and I knew I was doing 4 miles per hour because I had a marker on the distance, and I knocked off a mile in 15 minutes. Dancing rocks, serious sidestep. You gotta move where the rocks are and come in between. Keep moving on the clean spots. You gotta keep momentum going, and it doesn't mean in a straight line. You've got to dance around and hit the places that'll keep you moving downward the fastest, because gravity's pulling you, but you have to stay on your feet. I had mentioned earlier, yes, I slid off with my left foot, wiped out like a third base headfirst slide. Kind of that effect, because it went down the hill and I held on, got back up, everything good. Like what happened when I broke my pole. You don't want to be falling on those rocks. Too much can go wrong. And some bones are involved sometimes when it's out of control. I mean, it's real. The danger is real. It's no joke. It's not for play. Only serious enthusiasts need to trail run those big rocks. All right, well, you've got to look at the trail. I'm going to hike on, catch you on up the trail.